Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. And real quick, if you're feeling clicky, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that like button, and feel free to comment down below. Now, guys, today I got another My Arcade product. It's a wireless controller. It's called the Super Gamepad wireless controller with turbo feature for the SNES Classic Edition, and it also works for the NES Classic Edition, the Wii, and the Wii U. All right, you guys may or may not believe where I got this from, but you guessed it, HomeSense, aka, well, you didn't guess it, I just turned it over, so I didn't give you a chance to guess, but I got it at HomeSense, aka Winners. All right, guys, so yeah, we were in there doing some shopping. I came across this controller, and I was just literally saying before that, man, I wish I had more wireless controllers and stuff like that, because the wires can really get in the way, and it only cost me $15. So I said, what could I lose? You know what I mean? So I got it here now. I'm going to test it out, let you guys know what I think about it. All right. So, yeah, the My Arcade Super Gamepad. Box is a little broken. Forgive me for that. That's all it came. It's Winners. What are you going to do, right? So let's see what's going on the back here. We got the features are home button for easy access to game selection menu, programmable turbo feature with LED indicator, over 27 hours of playtime on 2 AAA batteries that are not included, and play from up to 25 feet away without lag or disconnection. Sounds like a good deal to me for $15. You know what I mean? I don't plan on playing from 25 feet away anyway, but it's all good, right? So I'm going to go ahead and set this up, and we're going to play some games, guys, and we're going to see how this works out, okay? Be right back. All right, guys, real quick before we started playing some games, I just wanted to point out a couple of things. First off, yes, my console is wrapped in plastic, so mind your business. And second, I noticed that at the back of the controller here, between the triggers, there's actually a port for USB connector. So I'm assuming that's if your batteries die or for whatever reason you're experiencing some kind of lag from the wireless play, you can just connect a cord, a wire, and use the controller wired. All right. Now, I guess that's if you have one of these special connectors for this, because these ones have like a special kind of connector. So if you have that, and it goes to micro USB, you're good to go. All right. If you're having any issues or your batteries die or you just like playing corded. All right. Or actually, no, I take that back. That's going to be to hook it up to. It's going to be to hook it up to the Wii and the Wii U. I bet that's what it is. And the NES Classic. I'm going to bet that's what that's for, to hook it up to those other consoles. All right. So it comes with that USB connection port there. And I'm assuming that's what it's for. All right. Yes, I'm going to say I'm 99% sure about that. So that's pretty neat there. All right. You got your triggers here. All right. You got your triggers here. And in the back here, you got your turbo button. Yeah. And you got the rest of the buttons here, very similar to a classic SNES controller. All right. So we're going to get into some games. I'm going to try it out playing some games here and let you guys know what I think. All right. Be right back. All right, guys, so upon further investigation, I've come to a couple of conclusions, and I'm going to go ahead and share those with you guys. And the way that I'm going to do it for this video is I'm going to compare the wireless My Arcade controller to the one that you get with the SNES Classic, all right, the original SNES controller. There's a couple of key points that I want to point out. First one being the most obvious. One is wired and one is not. Okay. I never had an issue with the wired controller that you get with the console because it is a fairly long wire. It's not a short wire, so it gives you a little bit of slack. However, the thing is with wires is that they become, they start to build up, and wires become tangled, and it just becomes another maintenance situation, and it becomes a whole mess, right? So of course the best way to overcome that issue is with a wireless controller, right? So in terms of clutter and stuff like that, I'm reducing clutter. This is going to win every time, obviously. Okay, so let's move on from that. When it comes to the size of the controllers themselves, they're very similar, going this way, right, from left to right. This one, the original one, might have like, it has like a little bit on there, a little more. And what I like about that, if you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that, so I line them up, and you can see that there's a little extra space here on the original controller at the bottom here. And why I like that is because it gives you more room to hit these back buttons here, right? I've noticed when controllers are smaller, even on like my retro gaming handhelds and stuff like that, the smaller they are, and you have to utilize these buttons, you could really cramp your fingers up. Like for me to use these comfortably, I don't like pushing them like this flat. I don't know if you guys can see that. I never play and push these back buttons flat. Down here it's fine, but up here, no, right? It feels very uncomfortable. It feels like I'm overextending in general. So what I end up doing while I'm playing is I have to adjust like this. I end up playing not like this, but like this. You understand? So, I mean, I get used to it after a while because I do it so often. It's really the only way I can play with controllers like this, obviously. But compared to this one here, this one, if you have to utilize these buttons, this controller is gonna win every time. It's gonna win every time. It's just less adjusting in the hand that you have to do, right? And I can actually play a little bit better on this one with my hands completely wrapped around the controller and pushing like this. I don't actually have to take my hands off too much, if you guys could notice that, from here to here, right? I can actually do that. Whereas this one, it's a lot more, it feels a lot more uncomfortable. Down here is fine. These buttons are really loose though. They feel like they're gonna break off, I'll be honest with you. It feels like a cheap attachment down here. But all the other buttons are great. I actually like these buttons here more than I think I like these buttons here on the original one. I like the level of clickiness to this. I like that it's not too stiff, not too loose, right? These ones here, I'm like, if you look at these, like these are a little bit looser in the groove that they're in there. You can actually shift these around a little bit. If you just touch it lightly, you can see the button itself moving around a bit. Whereas this one here, it does it too, but it comes out of the controller a lot more, right? Let me see if I can show you guys. Yeah, you can see it there too, right? If you look, it comes out of the controller a bit more, right? So yeah, it's a lot more ground to cover when it comes to pushing the buttons down, but the click feels real good. It feels real good. I like it a lot. All right, so the buttons, I'm going with the My Arcade for the buttons for sure. I would like these buttons on this controller now, but I would like these two back buttons here. I would like those on here, but unfortunately, and these don't feel bad, but unfortunately the controller itself is just a bit short for these. I think even if these buttons were on here, for it to be comfortable at all. All right, now when it comes to the D-pads, you know what? I'm gonna go even on those because they both have certain things that I like. Let me see. You know what? This D-pad feels good, man. You know what? I'm gonna say they're about even on that. If I'm gonna be real with you, this one might win out just a tad bit. Again, I like how it feels. This one here is a little slippery. This one here seems to have a little bit of grip to it or something like that. kind of like a slight grittiness to it. And again, it comes out a little bit from, and it's also kind of concaved. I like that. Like it sinks in there, right? It's not just flat across. I like that. I like that feeling a lot. You know what I mean? I think they both are, but I think this one sinks in just a little bit more. And yeah, yeah. I dare I say this one feels a bit better. Dare I say, you know, for $15, right? But it is a bit small, you know. And at the end of the day, the reality of it all is, I've played with this practically since the day I've ever played a Super Nintendo. Since I've ever known Super Nintendo, I've always used this style of controller. So I'm always going to go back to this controller if another controller is if certain things if certain things stand out about another controller that I can't seem to let go, I'm just going to go back to the original, right? That's the smart thing to do. That's the obvious thing I think most people are going to do. So, but if you're in a tight situation, or in a well, not a tight situation, but you're in a situation where you need a controller, and any kind of controller, or specific, you need a wireless controller, your budget's a bit tight, I don't think you can go wrong with this. I don't think you can go wrong with this. I didn't test out the turbo button, but this doesn't have a turbo button. So to be honest with you, I can let that go. That's just icing on the cake for me. This also has a home button on it. So I didn't look in to see if that has any extra features, that home button, but that's there. So yeah, guys, overall, I'm gonna say they're dead even. I'm gonna say they're dead even. Dare I say that they're dead even? You know, this touches on certain aspects of, you know, certain this wins, this beats this control. They both have their own little pros and cons. That's what I'm trying to say. They both have their pros and cons. You know, end of story. So yeah, guys. Yeah, that's all I got. For $15, you can't go wrong, all right? Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys have another alternative to a wireless controller that you like, that you think might be better than this one here, and you know, better than this here? Let me know in the comment sections down below, all right, guys? And again, if you're feeling clicky, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like button, and the notification bell, and feel free to leave comments as well, guys. It's always greatly appreciated. And one more thing before I leave. I didn't get to step away 25 feet from the dongle. I didn't have a reason to. But I'm gonna have faith that it's gonna work. For $15, if it doesn't work from 25 feet away, it doesn't work from 25 feet away. How big is your room really? You know what I'm saying? How far are you really gonna go? If you have to be 25 feet away from whatever, you know, when you're playing the game, from the actual dongle or the console itself or the TV, that's probably because you're gonna go sit on the toilet and take a dump. And at that point, let it go for a second. Just pause the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, taking your phone with you is enough, isn't it? And I know you do that. I know you take your phone with you. Everybody does, because we're addicted. We got problems. We got problems, all right? We got to stop taking our phones into the bathroom with us. It's not appropriate. It ain't appropriate. All right, guys? So, yeah, guys, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Until next time, peace.